Leeds United's transfer news has continued to go on throughout the night, and today we've had a little treat. We've had a nice little Daniel Farke press conference ahead of the Bristol City match, which is sort of doubled up as a transfer news thing as well. In this specific video, I will be targeting the transfer newsy stuff just because that's what's more relevant right now. I will get a Bristol preview out soon, but let's dive into it. On transfers, there was a specific, quite long amount of stuff he had to say, including the fact that we're restricted on what we can do in financial terms. That makes complete sense considering we're a championship club, but I think what he said in addition to that is a little bit more useful. He said that not only are January prices higher than in summer, because if you want to sign a good quality player, they're already playing for their club and not necessarily forcing a move out, but we've got loaned out players, so we still need to stick to the financial rules. This, I think, is very interesting because I think that's talking about the likes of Brendan Aronson, Luis Sinistero, Jack Harrison, for example, players that forced a move out in the summer and are still potentially having an impact on our financials. Now, right now, they're not having an impact. Their wages are paid for by their other clubs, for the most part. The significant issue is if they come back and we can't loan them out again, for the likes of players that have disappointed on loan, so Rasmus Christensen, that's wages that we have to add to our wage budget, and that is where the risk starts to come in. And it shows that we are still being harmed by sort of the tail end of Victor Orta's legacy. Victor Orta, I think, was for the most part quite a good director of football at Leeds when it came to signing young players, but when it came to signing experienced players and ones to build a core of the squad around, didn't work out in the slightest. And we can tell because those release clauses are still harming us today. Importantly, though, he did specifically say that the club is still working hard to bring 1 or 2 players in. This is huge, because us not working to bring the players in would be bad, and it would be very easy for Daniel Farke to just say, we're happy with the squad as it is, we're not going to make any moves on deadline day, but he did actively say that he wanted to make some moves. He said, hopefully we can get 1 or 2 more players through the door. And that tells me that alongside the fact that, and I will get to that in a little bit more detail later on, how injuries have severely affected the way this window has run, there is evidence of the fact that they've been working really hard as well. Although on the bright side, he did say he wouldn't be concerned with the current group because the current group in any other season would likely be leading the championship, or at least firmly in the automatic promotion places. You can't forget that what Leicester have done, what Ipswich have done, what Southampton have done, and what we are currently doing is promotion level form. It's just the shame is there's 4 clubs doing it right now. He did also say that we will be trying until the last hour to make something happen. And this was a little bit scary for me because I will be streaming until the last hour. I think I'm starting at 5 p.m. tomorrow, going until the deadline and potentially beyond if something does happen and there's deal sheets and stuff like that. We'll find out. I've got a cold, if you couldn't tell, which makes talking for extended periods really hard. In addition to that, we had some more news on Liam Cooper. There is now zero doubt that Liam Cooper will be staying at the club. Daniel Farke sort of ran through various bits and bobs and said that he considered Liam Cooper to be a cornerstone player, a significant part of the leadership group, and he said he's going to be keeping those. Basically, young players that aren't going to get minutes, sure, they can likely leave on deadline day because that isn't going to cause an issue. You're not going to have to change your squad planning because Jeremiah Chulico and Mullen has left, which he did in my FM save and didn't really do much elsewhere, which is promising. At the same time, an under-18 goes out on loan to get some more development. Fantastic, but none of the key squad is going to be leaving. That includes, as was rumoured earlier in the window, Willie Gnonto. And that has dispelled so many rumours because a lot of people are saying, if Benrahma leaves, he'll go to West Ham. No, he won't, because Daniel Farke has said now he will not. Unless some club is willing to come in and pay like piss-taking levels of money, that's not going to happen, at least in my opinion. But we have learned something quite big, and this is outside of what's happening with like the main squad at our club, and it has affected, I think, a couple of deals we've tried to do already. There are injuries that are severely affecting Leeds United's transfer moves, and Daniel Farke said this himself, that we were close to having 2 deals over the line, and one of them fell apart because of injury issues. And in my opinion, this is directly referring to Hashioka. Daiki Hashioka is a Japanese right-back who has chosen to go to Luton rather than Leeds United, and initially, everyone was of the opinion that, well, he's chosen Luton, and this includes me, because they're a Premier League club, they might be able to offer a little bit more money, they will be able to offer like more stature, and Luton could potentially get out of the relegation zone. That would make sense as a reasoning, but it turns out what has happened is Hashioka will have had an issue with an injury or in a medical, and Daniel Farke and his team have quite intelligently looked at that and gone, well, we could get him through the door, we could get a move done, and everyone will be really happy with that. Everyone would celebrate because we've signed a fullback. And they took that time to look a little bit deeper and say, he's got injury issues, fitness isn't ideal, and this is why people are complaining about us having Byram and Firpo as left backs. That's not a good thing, necessarily, because they get injured. There was a rumour going around earlier that Sam Byram was injured. But the intelligence there to go, well, if he comes in and if he has persistent injuries, not only have we wasted money that is part of our very, very tight financial restrictions, but we've got a player in that isn't able to do anything, that still wants to be a part of the squad and still wants a lot of minutes, and that would be bad. We decided against it due to the injury situation, and I think that showed something that Leeds United haven't enough in recent years, and that is the ability to look further, to think what we actually need, and say, no, we don't need to do that. In the same way, when we were pushing last deadline day for a striker, not last deadline day, but like the Jesse Marsh one, we thought we had Gakpo over the line. We didn't. So we moved on to Bamba Dieng, and we pushed and we pushed and we pushed, and we didn't, because a mix of medical issues, and he wanted to go elsewhere. And it's an attempt to sign the wrong fit that has caused problems for us in the past. And the fact that we are actively looking to sign someone that is the right fit, that is perfect for the squad, is a good thing. The amount of times that people have said Ben Godfrey isn't going to be good enough because he's not starting for Everton. Everton are in the Premier League and we're in the Championship. Let's be a bit realistic here. And he showed some of his best football when he was playing under Daniel Farke at Norwich. Take our time, make the right choices, and if it comes to the 1st of February at 11:05 or whenever, and there's been no deal sheets and there's been no signings, but admittedly Daniel Farke said he wouldn't be concerned with that squad, I'd be a little bit worried. I've got to be honest, but the fact that we're deciding against moves because they are not appropriate is a good sign of growth. And on the subject of injuries, he also mentioned that Dan James will still be out for Bristol City. Archie Gray will be back. I think that's pretty good. That means that we are potentially moving forwards and getting a nice, solid squad together to take on the following month. The following month is going to be hell, by the way. It's Bristol, and then let's have a quick look just to be certain, actually. Bristol away, Plymouth away, back home for Rotherham, Swansea away, Plymouth away. That's a nightmare of a run. And the fact that we are looking to get fit players in rather than players with potential doubts means that we're going into it knowing what we've got available. Anyway, hope you liked the video. I hope you join me tomorrow. I accidentally punched the mic. Sorry if you heard that. Hope you join me tomorrow for the big old stream that I'm going to be doing. And yeah, like the video if you enjoyed. Comment, subscribe, even become a channel member, all that good stuff. And I will see you later. Oh, and for anyone that does stick around till the end, this one's a secret one for you. You said rhubarb yesterday. Specifically, someone asked if it could be Finland today. So Fuglen Kamara, let's have a little bit of Finland in the comments. See you later.